Hello guys, and as promised, welcome back to weekly vlogs. Don't get your hopes up though, the internet still isn't up. I think today is the 4th or 5th of November, something like that, and the promised date is not on the 19th, and I'm not holding any hopes whatsoever, because last week they wasted me time. I took nearly, not a day off work, but a lot of time away from work, waiting at home to get a line pull, basically where they pull the fibre cable from basically a manhole at the front of me house, like up just on the path up to the house. They've never turned up. Avon line, I think they're called. Load of pap they are. They're never even getting back to Virgin. Virgin, in fairness, are messaging them, not getting back, not giving dates. But to say I'm meant to get a line fitted, and then Virgin have got to come out and do an internal install with a little like brown box on the side of the wall and the plug and the router and all that stuff. I'm doubtful that'll happen before the 19th of December. But in fairness, like I mentioned to you, they redid the mast in our local town, and in fairness, just on my Vodafone, using my phone, is cracking, to be quite honest. It's really good. So I'm managing-ish, but we're nearly there. Anyways, welcome back to a bit of a short, I'm not going to go too much into depth with things, weekly vlog. But like I said, I might only be over a day or two. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I just thought I'd just welcome you all back and just try and get into the swing of things. It's not going to be every week. I know I'm calling it a weekly vlog. I'm just going to call it, I don't know what new name I'm going to call it. It'll probably just stick as weekly vlog for now and just see how things go. But anyways, what's in this Volvo? We're just going to go around. In fact, my dad needs me help now, so we're just going to check round the lights. In fact, he's talking to somebody, so we'll come back to that in a second, because he does want us to check the stoplights. Anyways, we'll have a quick walk round this XC60. They are nice cars, nice, lovely 5-cylinder D5, but I think they're like 2 litres now, not 2.4s. But yeah, cracking. I'll tell you something about this engine in a minute. We're just going round the lights. Do you want to see the stop lights? He's just gone run new, so I'm going to check them for him. Just in for MOT, so we're just going round. Obviously, see the LED. Look like it's flickering on the camera, but it actually isn't. We'll just see. Yeah, on. Top one. Bottom one. Yeah, thought they would have been LED, but they're not yet. They're working, and he's done the rest. So yeah, this is an XC60. The smaller version, obviously, of the 90. I do like these. I will say Volvo do a lovely, lovely interior. Obviously, Saab don't exist anymore. But yeah, you can't admit them front seats are design. They're just nice. Just generally nice, I will say. And I do always like these, what they call like a floating dashboard. Yeah, I do like these, and I probably would, I'm not going to lie, when they become a bit cheaper, probably pick one up. Be a little bit on the small side for a towing car. They're probably more than easily tow my caravan, but I would prefer the XC90. But yeah, just one thing to let you know about these, the D5s. All of them, basically, and Volvo have done a recall on the tensioners on these. Down here, you can see the belt. I've already showed you on one of my other cars. These auxiliary belts come off, and they go straight into the timing casing and knock your engine. And I'm actually going to advise Gary on that. That belt's looking a little bit rough. Change these auxiliary belts as often as you can, because they will knock your engine. Massive, massive issue on these. So yeah, but good car. Got this Golf over here. Just quickly go around it. I'm not going to go into any detail. It's one of my good friends, Paul. I didn't even realise he'd passed his test, actually. He's a motorbike fanatic. I never thought I'd see the day him driving a car. He's older than me, just never had any interest in driving a car, but he has. I didn't realise that, so congratulations on that, Paul. I suppose he'll be thanking that now when he's got the heater on in the middle of winter, because he used to ride his motorbike back and forwards to Newcastle every day in the winter. Brave man. I know I couldn't do that. Yeah, Golf TDI, Blue Motion, can't tell you anything about it, don't know, it's just in for MOT. Happy days with that one, so that's that. So I do want to show you this. And what you think are little jobs, and a 2-minute job, which is why I now advise my customers to just leave cars with us. Now, what's happening with this is the screen wash wasn't working, blown a fuse. Easy job, you'll say. Yeah, no problem. I just said to the lass, leave the car, make sure the booklet's with it, and I'll change the fuse, no problem. So, did that, got the book, told her I'm just going to have a cup of coffee, and I'm going to have a look at for the fuse for you. So here we go. Look at this, absolutely. See this book here? Obviously, I wouldn't do it because she's a nice lass, but I feel like getting this book and throwing it in the bin, because it is absolute garbage. Now, number one, let's have a look, read here. It doesn't tell you, so you get to the page with the fuses, and it doesn't tell you where or which fuse is which. So it gives you, if I don't know why, it gives you like random ones, 1, 4, 5, then up to 20, and then 28, and then 49. Doesn't tell you nothing about what each fuse does. So I went, that's no problem, we'll find where they are. Now it's telling you there, fuse box to right-hand drive vehicles on the front passenger side. Glove box, out, as you can see, and nothing. Waste of time. Utter waste of time. And then we'll go around to the front here. We'll actually go under the bonnet. So under the bonnet, where they sometimes are, you know, this is a 30-second job, you know, which a lot of times I wouldn't charge for. So there we go, there's the fuses, there's the box. But nothing tells you which one they are. Nowhere to be seen. No diagrams, no nothing. In the book, doesn't tell you. It shows you, I think, somewhere, next page. The page before. There we go, under the bonnet. But it doesn't give you any of the numbers to which fuse goes where. Good manufacturers have them written in these books, and they have them written in here. Or some have it in here and not in there. One or the other. But no, not with the new Volkswagens now. That's too much to do. So no diagram to work off on here. Nothing to work off on the book. The book's telling you to go into places like behind the glove box, where it's not. So I've gone under where it says for a left-hand drive vehicle and found it in here, as you can see. So there's loads of fuses in there. And again, I thought, well, it's not in the book. It's going to be written on the back of the bit of plastic. Nothing. So there we go. So, you know, you're stuck, your lights have gone off or something, or your heaters aren't working. You're at the side of a road. What do? Yeah, what's your thoughts on that, guys? I personally think Volkswagen should do some kind of a recall on that and get a diagram. This is a new car and it has not been fiddled with. Nobody's messed around with it. So yeah, that's ideally pain in the arse. So it's took me time now to sit through online literature and everything to try and find which was the fuse. So in the end, I'll just get the light. I did find which fuse it was. And most people wouldn't have a clue of what mark car that is and tried to search it through pages and pages. I just managed to find it. Got a special guest in the day. Harry, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Got Harry's in. I'll show you his car in a second. But yeah, so hidden away in here. I'll just switch it over. It was that one just next to the 10 at the bottom. I'm trying to hold the light just at the bottom. Next to the 10 amp, the 7.5 amp fuse. So there we go. It does work. We just tested it. And there we go, you see. The wipers won't work because the bonnet is up. So I'm going to put this back together. But the problem why this has happened initially, and the lass knows why, because I told her off about it last year. She keeps putting pure water into the screen wash. I told her it's got to be, especially last week when we had the snow. This was all white yesterday before it rained. Always in the winter use a full concentrate screen wash. And guys, this is advice to all of yous out there. Seriously, you will cause problems when the lines freeze for your rear screen wash, for example. Obviously, comes out at the back. It generally runs through the whole roof of your car. Front ones are quite awkward to get to as well. When they freeze, they burst all the pipes. All the little joins come away. Sometimes they're in your roof panel and it leaves damages your car. And on these, the heated pipes, let me tell you, these are a nightmare and they are renowned for splitting. So your simple thing, what you do is you go out and you buy some good quality screen wash. We get ours directly from Volkswagen. Quantum, that's genuine Volkswagen stuff. As you can see, all the things are from VW. But what you want is read the cans properly before you pick it up. Now, there's two versions you can get. Actually, he has some antifreeze as well. Not a mistake for screen wash. And if you notice, everything I have in here is concentrate. It says somewhere in there, concentrate. Do not buy ready mixed. Number one, it's a way that they rip you off. You tend to find sometimes it's almost the same price for concentrate and ready mixed. Ready mixed, you might think, ooh, that's easy. Yeah, but you just basically, it's hard to explain. So that 5 litre can here of concentrate, it'll probably do you 5 full ones of ready mixed. So you're getting 5 for the price of 1. And it's not normally anywhere near 5 times the price. So always, whenever you're buying stuff, especially screen wash and antifreeze, buy the concentrate, not the ready mixed. And then what you want to be doing is, forget what it says on them. It says protects the -15. Put it in neat. Do not mix it with water. All through the winter. I know you'll be saying that's expensive, but trust us, it's cheaper than blowing your screen wash motors, having to get all the wheel arch liners ripped out, splitting tanks, hoses leaking all over inside your car. Put, like, when you know it's going to be cold, you know, into the minus figures, neat screen wash. Before you put it in, prime the lines, empty this, make sure it's empty, so there's no point of, like, putting half one of them in and going, oh, there we go, it's full, because you know half of it will be, like, water or diluted, ready-mixed screen wash. Ready-mixed screen wash barely can go above minus 1, if that. It's just basically coloured water, to be honest with you. So yeah, always use the concentrate. So what I'm going to do with this car now, drain it off and fill it up with that. But one little thing to remember, and it sounds silly, but once you do it, especially if you're just going to leave the car overnight when it is cold, prime it through. So once you've drained the old stuff out and put the new stuff in, just simply, especially the rear one as well, just put it in and just run it. I'll just swing it round. I can't do it once. Just run it. Just simply, you see the water coming down there? It's just prime it through till the water that you see coming out the back is whatever colour the stuff you're putting in, blue, green, whatever. And that way, you know you've pre-primed, it's a tongue twister, the lines, so it's got the antifreeze in. Because remember, you could just top it up, and then all your lines have actually, especially the back one, because it's got to come further, is still full of just pure water, basically. And then therefore, as you can see by that, it's just water. You know when it's got an antifreeze in, because you get the little jagged edges. Sounds daft, but it does. I'll show you when it's done. So that's what we're going to do with this. Prime it all out and fill it up with fresh concentrate screen wash. I'll get back to you. Right, so there we go. We've topped it up. So what we're going to do now is like what I told you to do earlier. I don't know why these things beat on like this. Really aggravates me. So yeah, so obviously what we're going to do is just prime the new stuff through. As you can see, what's coming through now is still very much just water. So it's going to just keep it priming, and there. You might think I'm crackers, but you'll see what I mean when the wiper stop. About the, you can tell when somebody's got screen washing by, I'll put it very layman's terms, guys, the spiky bits. See what I mean? That's obviously, it's like a form of alcohol, basically, that they put into it. Now we know that, and we'll do the same with the back. Look for the rear wiper. So up to now, that's just pure water, and there now, just starting to come through nice and pure. So we'll switch the ignition off. I'm just going to pull the bonnet again, because these disable the front wipers when the bonnets are open. And as you can see at the back there, that's, in fact, it's not quite as pure as I would like it to be, so I'm going to prime it through just a little bit more. Because like I've said, it does take a while for it to come right through the pipes at the back. And just hear it going there. You can see it coming through. I can just see it, and it is still very much just looking like water for now. And I'll come back. There we go. Literally, you can just see the change in it there. That second. And there we go. That's nice and pure. Bubbles, screen wash coming through. Where before, if I had just left it, for how often people use the rear wash wipe, that could have been left a long time, just as pure water sitting in the roof where the pipe, which I'll show you, you're more than likely to be able to see it, goes through here and into the roof. Then you get leaks in your car and everything when they become detached. So that's primed now. Just turn that rear wiper off, and then you've just seen us prime it on the front. But we're down with my OCD. Now I know, obviously, I'll just open the bonnet. So of course now, since doing that, while low on the antifreeze, Dan, come on, the screen wash. So I'm just going to go back here and show you before I top it up what I've been doing as well. Excuse Harry and my dad. So what I do is, obviously you've just seen us put all those quantum screen washes in, which are direct from VW. What I do is, I just mix just a half a can, don't panic, summer screen wash, but it's mainly because it's this luminous green colour. And I only use it for the dye, and it's got a lovely like citrus smell to it as well. I only use half the can, and I mix it with it. And what it does is, it sort of makes it go to this kind of greeny kind of colour, rather than a blue. I'll get the why. I'll just go. So since what we're going to do is now, since we've primed that through, we're going to top it up. Because obviously I've just wasted all that fluid now. And if you go telling the customer you've topped it up, these, I'll tell you now, these filters are a waste of time. obviously this isn't my car, so I'm not just going to throw something away. But personally, what I would do with all these is throw them away. I'm not going to, because they cause them not to fill properly. So I'm just going to fill it up there now, just so it's nice and full. So when the customer comes out, they don't go, oh, hey, you haven't filled it up for us. But I've just primed it through. So there we go. That's that topped up. Put the filter back in. I'll just chuck it in the bin, to be quite honest. And that's it, done. But there's a reason. You might ask, why? The reason why I do that is we don't get any hassle off any of our customers. Most of them are just absolutely cracking people. But a lot of people sometimes go, oh, you haven't even topped it up. It was, there's no colour to it, or blue or whatever. Well, that being a bit of an off colour, there's not many green screen washes. You do in the summer, you do get them luminous green. But when that little bit of green mixes with the blue, obviously, a luminous green with the blue, it goes that kind of unique green, grass green kind of colour. And it's just another way if somebody ever says, oh, you've had a £1 on me bill or £2 on me bill for screen washing, you haven't put any in. When you mix that in, it's quite a strong dye to it, and you can genuinely see, even if they've got, the regular blue in, it makes it go that bit green. Just covering your arse, guys. Just literally covering your arse. But don't get any funny business. But I like to just cover myself for a lot of things. So, that's that done now. That's the screen wash working, that's fixed. A 2-minute job isn't a 2-minute job. By the time it takes you ages to find online fuse box diagrams, trying to find where they are when the book isn't telling you where they are. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So, we've got this insignia. I think supposedly it needs rear brakes or something that's meant to be down to the metal. They weren't long changed, these, so I'm a bit odd why they've gone like that. We'll have a little look around. It'll be on the lift shortly. By the looks of it, it's this one. It is there, down the metal. By the look, that's been actually getting tight, the caliper or something. So, yeah, so we'll have a look and see what's going on with that. That's the Volvo done. And if I get time this week, guys, I'm going to get on and try and change my shocker spring and strut top mount on my Golf, because that has been like that for too long now. Too many miles with it battering and braying on, and I feel like an absolute abuser of the car leaving it like that. So yeah, I'm going to try and get that done. But I do just want to show you an update on the Mitsubishi, the Lancer. I've just put the video out live yesterday. There's some of the bits that I removed from that. As you can see, I had a genuine Volkswagen pump, the auxiliary belt, which was original, the timing belt again, which was original when I find the writing on it, VW. But as you can see, it says up here Daco. Now, I was a big fan of Daco, but for these engines, Daco belts are renowned for delaminating. Not these ones, because these will be back from about 2010, but in the more recent years, Daco have gone over like a rehaul, like a new company, and I've seen loads of cases where the teeth strip off the belts. But as you can see with this, by the way, you should never ever do this with a new belt, ever. But on an old belt, you see all the cracks? That's why you want to be changing the time belt. You can see how it's all coming away on the edges. So yeah, it's a good job I did that as well. Also, all the new rollers and tensioners. There was this little one. You can see how worn out they're getting on the edges, see? And this is the main tensioner here. To be fair, that doesn't look too bad, but I did compare. This is an INA kit. Not keen of the Schwafer group at all, but I must say this was really good. As when you remove them, you see that was like a Daco one. And if you look there, Daco, and again the Daco quality was not very good. But if you actually look on the back, I can't actually pronounce this, guys. I put Littens. It's exactly the same as the one I got in this box. So happy days for that. And also, this is your main pulley. This was something, the INA. If you just look at the top there, just try and focus in on it. You just see it there, INA. As you can see, it's an INA kit. So what I replaced it with was exactly like for like. They were getting pretty worn out, but nothing to really write home about. The belt was definitely worth changing, but this, always get a genuine one. When you go through these companies, you will get the rollers and pulleys in good quality and the belt and everything, but I tend to find all of the aftermarket pumps are just trash, absolute trash. Don't bother with them. Go and get an original. This was only 40 quid for a genuine Volkswagen one. And as you can see, the water pump had actually been leaking as well, you see? See that, like, kind of there? So it's a good job I had changed that, and as you can see, shit idea really, plastic impellers, but if that seizes up, your engine's bust. And obviously I got 3 new bolts fittings with it as well. So that was for the Lancer. And also, like I was just showing you 2 minutes ago, some proper zero coil screen wash, but the main important bit on here is down at the bottom, is it VW G13 compatible. So nice new coolant, timing belt kit, auxiliary belt, water pump, happy days. So I'll leave that there. I'll get back to you, see what goes on with this or why, and just the rest of the week whenever anything comes in. Right guys, just a quick update. Before all of you say, "Ooh Dan, you do no work, you work on your own car." Just thought I'd let you all know, it's 5 o'clock, just about, I'm finished. But we're far from done. This was urgent to get done, but just take a look outside. I'm not sure how good it'll be in the dark. But again, like I've said, far from quiet. The Astra over there, Cougar, little, can't even see the badge, Peugeot or Citroen or something. And we've also got, that was a Volvo which you seen this morning, and we've got my car. Pointless walking around in the dark, but that's to come tomorrow. You might just get a glimpse of it there. That's the C230 supercharged. Debating what to do with that. That's to be checked over, and obviously that's ours. So, just before you all go, "Oh, you're having it easy." No, I'm not. But this has to be done. For months now, this car has been making a severe rattling, knocking noise coming from the front, to the point it's getting rather alarming. Like I said, my 3-year-old daughter turned round and says, "Daddy, your car's broken," a few weeks ago. So yeah, I had to do it. So what have I done and what am I doing? So a bit of an update on, definitely up to now, I love the Mitsubishi Lancer, but for 2023, I think this wins it for me. This is my favourite car. For what it owes, for how good it drives, and for practicality, I love it. Love it in many ways, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, what we're doing? Well, first of all, I thought the shocker would have been worse than what it is, but in fairness, I should be able to jump up and down on that. And as you can see, it's definitely had its day. As well as the spring, that's definitely the original. Well, that's definitely the original, 'cause it's got the VW badging on it. In a new strut top mounting. Before you all go, yes, I do not rate cheap parts whatsoever. Napa, don't really like them. Rubbish. Kayaba, that is original equipment. And APEC, used their brakes, really good. Suspension parts, not used them. Thought I'd give them a try. But literally for the shocker, the spring and the strut top mount only cost us less than £50. I can't believe that. So, again, I'm not going to go spending 200 quid on a new unit. So, here we go. There's the brand new spring. Strut top, you can't see it, that's right at the top. And just in case you're wondering what this is, I've just greased it all up nicely. Preventative work, you see. With it not being great quality. The spring is, but in fairness, that shocker, for the money, can't see a great deal wrong with it. Just to give it a fighting chance, I've thrown some grease, just some brake. Can't get my words out, guys. Some wax oil on it. So it's a bit of art in the middle of winter, and I just want to just give it a standing chance. So that's that done. ABS wire back into place, pinch bolt at the back in. And as you can see, guys, the reason why you want the PD 130, yes, I know my wings are getting rusty, but it's a Mark IV Golf, hey-ho. You can get a set of wings for these for less than 30 quid now. So I'm debating, and once we're over the winter, just banging 2 black wings on. No, I'm not going to even attempt to paint them on my own, and I'm not going to pay for it to get them done. It's just going to have to look sort of rat, do you call that? A rat look. And it's just going to have 2 black wings banged on, which I think these will be looking rather tatty after the winter. But yeah, like I've said, this is your PD 130. Love this engine, absolutely love the engine in this car. I've already shown you before, but look at the size of that intake pipe going down there. It is massive. That's what you want, your ASZ PD 130. It's huge. You can barely fit your hand around the pipe that goes down to the turbo down the back of the engine there. But yeah, it's not just the fact it's the PD 130. You don't just get the 130 brake engine. But it's not just, if you've got to remember these things, you can see the pipe work going down there. You've got to remember they've got a much stronger internals of the engine. They've got oil jets underneath the pistons to keep them cool. So a lot of people say, oh, you can get the PD 100 and bang them up to the same power as these. Yeah, you can, but they'll just fail. The 130 has a lot of internal upgrades. The 150 has a few more above it, but we all know the 130 is pretty much the one to have. What have I done? Well, just quickly, as I've shown you previously, this is me stuff here off the 2 litre PD, and I had a little bit of spare concentrate coolant left. So what I did was I just emptied the bottle and refilled it with some concentrate. So that's like a litre and a bit's gone in there, but that's like the equivalent of 2 litres, just to strengthen up the antifreeze for the winter. Like I've said, done the spring shocker and strut top mount. And like I've said, the PD 130 I've got distracted there. As you can see, the front discs are huge. You may not like believe that, but on them 15-inch wheels, the calipers are almost touching the wheels. So yeah, on the PD 130s, you get the bigger brake package on the front. You get the 6-speed gearbox, and you get a few other bits and bobs as well. So it's not just the fact, when I say PD 130, it's not just the engine, there's a few other factors as well. What's happening here, you may ask, just quickly. Turbo on these, I like to keep the vanes running free. I don't know if you can hear this noise, I don't know how well I can demonstrate it with one hand, but if you just listen, I don't know if you can just hear that sort of squeaking noise. Just the vanes just get ever so slightly tight in the turbo. Now, to get into the vanes in the turbo, you've got to take the exhaust manifold off the turbo, right chew on, and I found a shortcut. So all you need to do is take the engine cover off, take the top pipe off, use a vacuum pump, and if you just look in this hole here, you'll just see the bottom of the EGR valve. Now, when I pump this up, which is a vacuum pump connected to that, you'll see it goes up. I'll just try and use 2 hands here, and you'll just be able to see, bear with the screen going all over the place here, but you may just start to see it lift at the bottom there. See it? Opening up, take it right to the top, and there we go. So what we're going to do now is, that just holds the pressure, keeps the valve holding up. As you can see down there, see that metal pipe going down, the braided one? That goes directly into the turbo vanes. So what we do is now, that hole that is just there, we'll put this WD-40 down and into it. Bear with us, I'll just get into place. And as you can see, with the flexible metal straw that is in, and just bear with us, you'll see down into that EGR pipe, which takes it directly down into the exhaust side of the turbo. So we'll give it a fire. That is now flowing its way down that pipe and straight into the turbo. Now I'm just going to double check it's definitely not come out the hole, which it hasn't, and all you do is you just simply give it a good burst, 5 seconds at a time, and then just leave it 5 minutes, and that's it. That's 5 minutes or so. I'm just trying to show you, as you can see, that just an extension bar goes down, and it's just sitting on top of the turbo actuator, just there. So when I'm pushing on this, you can hear that squeaking noise now. It's almost gone, and that's just the vanes when they start to get clogged up with soot. So I'm just going to work that for 5 minutes, and I'll get back to you. Right, and there we go, 5 minutes. Hard to do it with one hand, but if you listen, no noise at all. Nice and free. I can do it with one hand, no problem. That's all you need to do once in a while. Normally every 1,000 mile I do this. And that's it. Job done. Put it back together. But what I do, now that's gone down into there, it's the exhaust side, don't worry. Don't go mad, of course. It's not the intake, it's not going to do an overrun or nothing like that. And I just leave that. I actually sometimes do that on a Tuesday morning, and I normally don't use the car again till a Saturday or a Sunday, and I just leave it in there to soak. Obviously, it'll just be overnight tonight, but I actually leave it in. Can't do any harm. If you get a penny or something and soak it in some WD-40 overnight, cleans it up like the old trick you do with Coca-Cola. So leave it down in there, won't do any harm. It's not like oven cleaner where you put it in and you've got to get it out as soon as possible. This can sit in there. This will actually do it the world of good. It'll clean it, free it, and deep. That's what it is, a penetrating fluid. It gets into all the little veins that just move like that on a plate. So yeah, there we go. There's a top tip. I should really do a separate video of that. It doesn't work on some engines, but on these PD 130s, it does. How to clean your turbo vanes and free them off literally within minutes. And you don't need much. An extension bar, a little vacuum pump thing, 15 quid, and a can of WD-40. Happy days. We'll leave it there. I've got other cars out there. It's pitch black. We'll bring you back for that tomorrow and let you all see. Catch you then. Hello guys and welcome back after me dinner at 4 o'clock. Yep, me dinner at 4 o'clock. Things are just that manic here. Few things that remind us from what I disliked about doing weekly vlogs is the amount of times I get stopped. It really puts us in a bad mood. Like I've just just started videoing there, and I'm not joking you, 4 or 5 people just appeared from nowhere, and there's still 2 people outside as we speak now as well. It's not anybody's fault, of course, it's part of running a business, but it makes it hard work trying to vlog us at the same time. Anyways, what's happened? The little red Citroen, or Peugeot, whatever it was, the little 107, we found out that they had messed about that much with it, that put the jump leads on the wrong way, and they blew an internal fuse within the fuse box. I believe it or not, yeah, let's just check that I've actually got another identical one outside. I'm not joking you, so I will show you what's gone on with that once I show you what's going on with this. So what we have got is a Mark II Focus in, and we were just doing a little discussion the other day of cars that which were very common, which in the next 10 years or so are just going to disappear, and I think this is one of them. A very good car, but the rot on these things are just horrendous, and a lot of them were fitted with a Citroen Peugeot diesel ones and stuff, and I do honestly think these things have massively declined. And I think honestly in 10 years time, especially the Mark 1s are getting really old now, but these kind of era ones, I think they're going to, the Mark II Focus, I think they are going to seriously start to disappear. So this one anyways, what it's in for is lack of steering, the old lady said. And yeah, I suppose she's right, because it's spewing power steering fluid absolutely everywhere. Look at that all down there. That's the power steering pump. There's something leaking there, but there's that much oil flying about, I just can't see where it's coming from. But at the same time, she's got no screen washing. The coolant was absolutely nothing in the bottle, which I've just topped up for her. I've just checked the oil, and that's actually ran up the stick, believe it or not. It was way below the minimum, barely touching that little black ball. So I don't think she's really been, I'm not saying an old lady should be looking after her car, but oil below the minimum, no power steering fluid in at all, but obviously that's because it's leaking, no coolant, no screen wash, and I've kind of given her the news with this, like, it's probably going to be worth a lot more than the car if it's a high pressure power steering pipe. So anyways, actually that is a very good idea, which I really did like at the Sierra. Vauxhall did the same with the Safira, of having a wheel trim but looks like an alloy, but it's got the strength of a steel wheel. I'm fully for those. So underneath you've got a nice strong steel wheel. If you scratch it or damage it, you just change the new cover. They don't necessarily, obviously it's plastic, they don't rust, they don't deform or crack like alloy. Happy days. I do like that idea, but they do look rather naff when they come off. Top tip with these, again, I've already showed you. A few people have said I want to hear some top tips, Dan. Put a bit of silicone grease or oil or anything you like on these rubber seals. And normally with these, you've got to nearly take the skin off your fingers to open them and tighten them back on again. Little bit of oil, and they just walk on lovely. It's all you need to do, and then the next time you come to take it off, it'll be nice and slack again. Just wait until they click, because you've got to take these all the way down, and that's it. So there we go. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to start it up and run it and just try and have a look underneath. To be honest, as you can see, we're littered with cars at the minute. We're kind of that busy. I'm just going to have a quick look at it for her, and I'm just going to palm it off, guys. Same with that other, the little 107. I'll explain what went on with that when we switch the cars over shortly. It's too much hassle, no money to be made in it. It's just an absolute headache. And when, like I told the lady, I says, you do realise power steering pipes are specially made items. They're very expensive. Oh no, it's afford the cheap parts. I'm like, right, we're going down this route then, aren't we? They know better. So I'll just quickly start it up now. What I have done, sorry, I forgot to mention, I've topped up with some power steering fluid and primed it through because there was nothing in before, and hopefully we may be able to see a rough idea where it's leaking from. So we've got it running, and obviously when you fill the power steering system up, what you do is you top up the bottle, and you work the steering all the way one way, all the way to the other, all the way to one way, and you'll hear it eventually quieten itself down. Then re-top it up, and then that's it primed properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it up and have a look. Obviously you can see there's a little bit of clutch drag. It was quite common on these era of Focus, sign that the clutch is getting slightly worn. But obviously you can see here we've already got a pool, and I've just seen some dripping down. So we're going to get the light and just have a little spy where we think the leak's coming from. I've just nearly dripped on us there. Somewhere Yeah, it's coming out the pump by the look of it. See it just dripping there? On that corner? Drip. To be totally honest, guys, it's just coming from absolutely everywhere. I'm looking up there. You might just be able to see that little silver piece. Seems to be coming out of there where it goes into the power steering pump. And it's dripping down there. It's dripping onto that pipe up there. So yeah, it's one of them difficult ones. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to sack it off. And I'm looking at the state of the car as well. Like I've mentioned, these are going to be few and far between in the next 10 years. In fact, that subframe just there looks like it will go through if you give it a hard enough tap. And the state of that wishbone arm as well, that is not good at all. And around the back, along the sills, starting to look really, really hard up. All the back subframe, these back arms. To be quite honest, it's one of them ones I don't want to kind of, I mean, look at that exhaust hanger. In fact, it's not even attached. There, look, see? So, you know, it's like kind of, how far do I go with this old lady changing the power steering pump, which I know will probably be expensive, way over £100, way over. And then she brings it back to in a couple of months and I fail the hell out of it on an MOT. I just don't like getting involved, and we're busy enough as it is with our regular customers. This is just a walk-in customer, and I don't really want to be taking this car on, if I have to be honest. What do you guys think? I just personally don't think I need the hassle, to be honest. By the looks of that, the aircon pump probably needs to come off to get to the power steering pump, because at the top you've got the alternator. Yeah, so that is that. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm doing the right thing? I'm not potentially losing a customer because we're absolutely chocker with our regulars, but at the same time, I just don't think I want to get involved with this car. I'm not going to really charge the lady anything. I've topped up the power steering fluid, spent half an hour putting it on the lift and that. I get a couple of quid to put in the pot to buy a jar of coffee or something. Happy days, but it's one of them things I just don't want to get involved with. Just too much hassle. So anyways, we've got that little Peugeot 107, identical but a different car. I'll go through what happened with the other one in a minute, and I'll also go through what's getting done to that one. I'll catch you soon. Right guys, I just wanted to show you, same car but different car, where the other one's gone and why. So, as you can see, it's the same car, slightly different, yeah, but what happened is people messing around with booster packs and jump leads, they've obviously put them on the wrong way, and these cars just being little, obviously they're quite sensitive to any kind of current changes. So if you ever do hear of any of these cars where you lose all your electric windows, your power steering, ABS lights on, you name it, wipers don't work, is what happens is which is why I tell people never blast things with booster packs, and that always, if you can, stick a trickle charge on overnight. But what it is, inside of this fuse box back here, there is a fuse built into it, but it's part of the fuse box that you can't change. There is a few electricians can open them up and do not a temporary repair, but a semi-permanent repair to them to get you going, so you don't have to buy a whole new fuse box. So yeah, that's why we just sort of sacked that one off. As you can see, not a cheap or easy job to go change the alternator, but I did do a test on it, and there was actually voltage at the alternator charging, but just not getting to the battery because it's blown the main, they call it like, what is it? There's a maxi fuse they call it. This is where, unfortunately, the junk from Citroen and Peugeot of getting into the Toyota build. It's a very common thing on BCMs and stuff like that where they add fuse in. It's an absolutely idiotic idea to me, because a fuse should be a serviceable, changeable item. Putting it as part of a fuse box that you can't change, pathetic really, isn't it? So anyways, that's why the other one's away. Just like the Focus, it'll be away shortly. So for this, what we've got for it is a complete exhaust, which half of it's over here. They come as a full lot up to the cat. That actually goes right up there just for a little car. It's got half the garage filled up. Again, the oxygen sensors, they're quite a point where I advise anybody when we're changing the exhaust for getting those out, is they can be upwards of £100. It's got these are one of the few cars, you know, that actually don't have a flexi, and I believe that's why the exhausts don't last 5 minutes on them, but they come. You'd honestly think it's across 2 oil barrels, a welder, and halfway up across the top of a press. You'd think this was going on a transit van. It's unbelievable. It's deceiving, actually, how big this piece of exhaust is. But there's this centre piece anyways, and also we've got the back box, which is down here. because it's split on the joint from the back box from here, and all the hangers are getting very hard up on it as well. But like I say, unfortunately, Calarius, they're the only exhausts you can realistically get a hold of at the minute, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, they are absolutely pap. And it's not very often I say that about parts we fit, but there is nothing else out there, and if there is, it's through companies we can't get up here in the north. So this is in for MOT tomorrow. It needs the exhaust done and 2 drop links. And again, another change to my usual advice is always buy original equipment. Optimal, definitely not my favourite brand. Not a bad brand. I have actually used these on something a few months ago and it wasn't bad. I'm not going to criticise it, but you know me, I prefer me Lem Forder and TRW. But they wanted about 35 quid. To us, by the way, trade. Sorry guys, I just had the lady picking up the Focus there. So yeah, it was going to be, I don't know, 30, 40 quid for literally a nut and bolt and 2 bits of rubber. Now I'm all for good quality parts, you know that. But I drew the line at this. These were like literally half the price. And to be honest, it's a nut, it's a few washers and bits of rubber. Sorry, but not being ripped off for those. So it needs 2 drop links in the exhaust there, the various clamps and stuff. That's to go on them exhausts I've shown you. But basically that's what these are here. And you can see they've just all deteriorated. By the way, in case you're wondering what the red is, got the heater on because it's freezing. And at this side, just shine that light there. You can see it's all just perished and cracked again. So get those done. And the exhaust, they are absolutely razor thin, those hangers. In fact, to be honest, that's barely not even on by. You can see they're next to nothing. And at the back here, it's blown really badly on this joint, which for a petrol car and all these brackets, you see it's already had a repair with a bit of metal bar. And with petrol cars for emissions, they're gas tests, and when you have leaks like that where there's little holes in them, what you find is you can't get them through. Diesels, champion. You put the pipe in the exhaust, you rev them, as long as there's not too much smoke. Absolute doddle for diesels. But petrols, just a little hole in the lambda sensors bring up that there's too much oxygen coming through and it fails on the emissions, so it gives you a headache. The only thing we've got to deal with, and sensor-wise, are these. If they strip, we'll have to give a disclaimer to quite a few customers that, as you can see, that looks like it's been at the bottom of the sea for 10 years. And, you know, they get hot, they have water going on them. Very common for them to fail. And if you don't tell the customer that, and then you go adding over £100 onto that bill, you can get some of them who get funny. None of our customers do, but we'll still let them know whenever you're changing an exhaust, where you need to change an oxygen sensor, lambda sensor, whatever you wish to call them, it could be an additional cost, which actually I hope this one's going to be all right, because I forgot to order one, I didn't think. So fingers crossed this one comes out, but you can use a little bit of heat on them and it should come out. So I'll leave it there, guys. The only thing I haven't got round to doing, just being that much going on the day, is checking over this. I want to show you underneath of this Merc. Really good car underneath. And then go from there, see what that needs. I think it might need a set of pads, needs an alternator. Bar that, it'll probably fly for an MOT. So yeah, see what happens with that. And the Golf, that's ready to go. I just haven't literally got round to getting it off the lift. But the WD-40 is soaking in the turbo, so it's going to get like 48 hours to soak into the turbo vanes. So I'll catch you tomorrow. What I'm only probably going to do is quickly show you this one, and I'll end it there and keep it as short as I can. Right guys, and welcome back to the final part. I've probably gone well over an hour. No idea if I can edit it. God knows if I've got to delete some of it out. So, what I've been on, getting that little Peugeot thing out, that's done. It's actually outside. New exhaust, new drop links, nothing really to see, bar the state of the ones that come off, because there's like next to nothing left of them. So yeah, they're just what the drop links consist of on those, and the new exhaust, which you've seen. So that's that done. The Golf, I've just decided to throw some ceramic polish over it, just while it's dry, just to give it a bit more protection. Yeah, I know the wings are getting a bit rough, but like I said, I'm going to get some new ones after the winter to put on it. But yeah, that ceramic stuff really does work well. I'll just show you what it is. I've done it with a paper towel, by the way. Definitely no valet garage here. Just this Diamond Bright ceramic glaze, just throw a bit on, wipe it down, wipe it off. The car was actually quite dirty. Yeah, I know. And by the way, all these like little scratch marks and stuff were there already. And I know you should never wash a car while dirty. I apologise for the LEDs flickering. Well, they're not. It's just the rate of the camera. But yeah, a quick once over. Also, I just want to show this stuff. Something Joe got from some random shop in Scarborough. I just thought it was a pile of rubbish at first. I used the Rain-X myself, but I've used this and it's actually better. And it's just cheap. Total cheap stuff, probably from Poundland. But you know what it is? It works. So I've just hide a bit on the windscreen and I've throw a bit on my back window, just so when you're driving, it helps get rid of the road dirt, especially off the back on estate cars. It just helps it run off a little bit better. And I also put a bit on the, again, with it being a Mark IV Golf, proper glass headlamps. The other one is cracked, so I am going to try and get a spare headlamp for it. But I have actually covered the little hole with some clear tape, which from a distance, again, you can't see. So how far do we need to go with a daily runner? You know, why bother? The headlamp's not letting water in. It's not it's not like doing any harm to anything. Just leave it, you know. But yeah, my new shocker on, and I've just gone round. Same with this key mark on it. Yeah, it's got a key mark, but what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. There's no point in wasting time. You know, it's just a working car. It's got everything I need it to do. But the beauty is with this, it's really tidy. I haven't even probably showed you around this thing for a while. It's really dark inside though, with the tinted windows. It is very, very clean inside, and that's what I like about this car. It's nice on the inside, like no rips or tears on the seats. You know, the nice wooden dash, 6-speed, aircon, not that we need it, 4 electric windows. It's just a nice, clean car inside. It really has been kept nice, and I do like it. I know that's slightly illegal. Are the front tinted windows? The back ones are pure limo black. You can do what you want with them. But I've never had a car for years where it's had the front windows tinted. Yes, they're illegal, I know. Not part of the MOT though, you can only barely advise them. But they're very lightly tinted, it looks a lot worse in this light. But I do like them. Definitely just that extra bit of protection to not let people see the dogs. Yeah, so that's enough on the Golf. Now we've got this absolute beauty. It is for sale. Simon will take offers on around about £1,400 for it, and I strongly suggest any of you guys, if you're interested, do not let this one hang around. It won't last, because I'm debating having it myself, but I don't need it. I really don't need it. I'll just be talking myself into buying a car that's not required. But get a look at this. Remember, this is an 02 plate, 52 Mercedes. They are rotten normally. Get a look under here. The bodywork is like brand new under here. Subframe, barely even any surface rust. Back arms, look at them back shockers. This has been fully Lango guarded as well. And that is pictures. If you go onto my Facebook page and have a look under here, the floor pan is like brand spanking new. As you can just see a bit of it there. Brand new. Rear arches are normally knackered. Absolutely brand new. Dirty, but new. And that stuff on the edges is actually wax oil I put on just to keep them right. No rust bubbling. Factory fitted, detachable Mercedes tow bar up there, as you can see. Like I've said to you though, it's the new 13-pin one, which is actually means it's brand new. There's the tow bar there, brand spankers. Springs, all got the original markers on them. Full original exhaust. To the front, look at all these nuts and bolts. They're like brand new. You just really don't get that on things nowadays. You really don't. You get a look of a Mercedes of this era underneath, and it will certainly not look like this. The body on it and everything. So yeah, just a quick look around it. So yeah, there we go. Just thought I'd show you that. And what I am going to do, if I get time possibly, is I've got some. Do a flush on the Lancer. I'm just going to stick this Miller's engine flush in. I don't normally use it, but I've got it sat there, so I'm just going to use that. And I've bought some oil, some Long Life 3 oil, genuine VW stuff, and I've got a filter. Might just do a quick oil change on that. That's why I had that out to show you as well as that. So I'm just going to leave it there. This has gone on a bit. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all together. Still haven't got internet, as I keep saying. So yeah, thanks for watching. Just like I keep saying to you, I appreciate it. You've got to bear with us at the minute. It gets busy. It's awkward to do recordings sometimes. But I do appreciate all your help. Again, who was it again? Paul, you sent me, you buy me a coffee. Thank you very much. I actually totally forgot about that. I still need to thank you personally for that. Thank you very much. But I do appreciate the help of everybody. Like I said, the links below for buy me a coffee or the super thanks, however it works through YouTube. Even just hitting the like, hitting the subscribe. But there's a lot of you watch this and you're not subscribed. I've checked the figures. If you're watching it, just hit the subscribe. It's free of charge. It really helps. If not, just hit the like. To be fair, even watching it, leaving a comment, it all goes towards making it worthwhile me keep doing this. So thank yous all. Not sure when I'll be doing the next one. I want to get the internet in. I've got a couple of weeks to upload anyway, so I'm a bit ahead of myself. It's just getting round to uploading it when I've got the internet. There's the internet in the garage here. Now the CCTV system is working, is really pulling a drain on the already poor broadband we get here. But hopefully by the 19th of December, I should be running a gig download, but at least over 100 meg upload, which is nowhere near what I can get here. So anyways, catch you soon. If I don't do one before Christmas, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, but I will do some form of a little shout out somehow, somewhere along the lines. So I'll catch you all soon. Thanks for watching.